Well, hello there. We're back. Welcome back to New Pause Network on today's French Reacts by popular demand. Mr. Alejandro is back. How are you doing, sir?
Doing all right, man. Yeah, I was really surprised at the reception I got. I gotta say thanks to everybody watching. I really enjoyed listening to Ren the last time, so this one proves to be a whole lot more fun, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy I'm able to share the word, and I had a good feeling when I met you. Something was interesting about you enough that like your perspective was going to be something I would appreciate, and hopefully a lot of people appreciate. And rightfully so, they did. So look, I know you're a very busy man, but I do appreciate you being here, my man.
No, hey, everybody can keep up to date with all my goings on YouTube and Facebook. Links will be in the description. I'll be doing Beauty and the Beast next month at LCT at Lubbock, Texas. So come out and see it if you're
I,
around.
if you're around, okay, thank you very much for the invitation. I can't come.
I feel that, man. We're on opposite ends of the border.
Yes, sir. All right. So, look, just to explain a bit, this is a trilogy. For all those who are here, you probably know what I'm talking about. It is the tale of Jenny and Screech. This is my first introduction to Ren itself. It took me a while for me to be really mind blown. I was way too high on stuff when I first listened to this, so I didn't get the whole overall message. But once I really started looking into it, my mind was blown, and I started that train of Ren starting from there. So I'm happy you are continuing down that path. Also, like you really appreciated, I think, last time the whole bardcore aspect. This is why we're continuing with this because this is also a bardcore avenue of Ren, which again, he does a lot of avenues. But this is something I find personally blows most of minds because it's storytelling like we don't have in today's music. So we're pretty much continuing on that vein. And personally, you like guitar, this is a lot even more, how can I say this, entertaining and just audio mind fucking, in my opinion, when it comes to the guitar compared to High Ren. High Ren was fun. It had some really special moments. This, in my opinion, is special guitar moments.
Rock on. I'm totally into it. I 100% stayed completely clear. This is going to be 100% blind. My first reaction. Let's kick it up.
All right, let's just hope you don't stub a toe because you're blind. All right, so let's go ahead and react to the tale of Jenny and Screech. Sorry, it's very late, not enough coffee.
It was a quiet, dark night in an empty street somewhere in London City. Jenny walked alone, she was dragging her feet. She was heading back home to sleep. Well, she knew this town, she knew this floor, because she walked it about 1,000 times before she wanted to escape. Can you blame? Well, on the very same night, in a different place, there was this hooded young youth by the name of James. He was 14 years old and out of his brain. He'd been smoking ganja with the boys. James, he grew up to be a kid of the street. His mates called him Screech. He was quick on his feet. He was a liar, a thief. At 14 years old, the devil had set his sights on his soul. As Jenny walked home all alone, she felt scared. Usually she was alright, but it was like there was something in the air. A divine intervention telling her to beware. Maybe intuition bugging her and making her so scared. Sirens sound in the distance at the beat of Jenny's feet. A symphony of the night that echoes crime on London streets. Jenny turns a corner, their eyes they meet. Our poor girl Jenny, a boy named Screech. Give me all your money, bitch, give it to me. If you cooperate, then you'll soon be free. I want your purse, your phone, don't fucking look at me. I mean it, bitch, are you listening to me? Jenny freezes statue like a lady shakes stalactite. Feel like liquid nitrogen in the dark night. She tried to find strength to move, but stayed as still as a statue in high-heeled shoes. What the hell you playing at? You playing games with me? I swear to fucking God, I'll slice the rosy off your cheeks. You think I don't mean it, girl? You don't know me. The last thing you see will be a boy code. Screech reached with the sheath of the blade, with the teeth that could bite through steel and slice concrete. And he swung possessed with the devil in his chest, and the statue she was turned to butter in her breath. It was a quiet, dark night in an empty street somewhere in London City. Jenny lay still on the cold concrete. She's found somewhere to sleep. Well, she knew this town, she knew this floor, 'cause she'd walked here about 1,000 times before. I guess that she escaped. It's such a shame.
Like I was saying, your first taste of A Tale of Jenny and Screech. The floor is yours, my man.
Well, very cool. First of all, that was wildly entertaining. I love the tracking shot down the alley. So simple, but so well done. This, because I had already had a taste of Ren previously, I was more prepared for what I was gonna watch. But this was actually something of a left turn with how simple it was. Like, it didn't have a whole lot of theatrics to it. Just him telling this story on a steel string. Like I said last time, nylon strings for days, absolutely, when you're trying to do a ballad. This, when you're trying to tell a story, steel strings absolutely sell the story. The way he plays that acoustic also, he can make that thing dance. It's pretty sick.
Yeah, and you can feel his acting chops. You said it before, like that kind of acting you can't learn. It's gotta be in you, you know? And the way he communicates his story is acting, just in his eyes, you know?
That's what I was going to say. Like, he's not playing a character in this one. He's a narrator, which is very cool, very Bard-like, like what you were talking about. Like, that is classic Bard techniques. I loved everything about that. That was so much fun. Like, I don't know. The artistic cynicism, I said the last time, that one was kind of missing in this. This was just kind of a story he was trying to tell, and I do agree with you. We need more stories in music. Like, what happened to just telling a story? Like, I miss folk music for that reason, or I love folk music for that reason, like Jim Croce, all the time. But man, I love that. That was so much fun, just jovial, you know. It wasn't the most like pleasant story, but still, I was intrigued. I was like, all right, tell me this story.
It gets worse. All right.
I had a feeling.
In the best way possible, but the story it's a dark story, but again, amazingly mesmerizing. Now, before we go ahead and go to the Screech part, do you have any predictions, music-wise, story-wise? What are you anticipating now? Do you have a taste of Jenny?
That is a really, really good question, actually. We've already seen him use multiple different types of instruments at certain increments during the story. This being the end of what I would consider the prologue of this story, that means probably we're going to get into the actual setting. The curtain's going to open, as it were, and then we're going to get the overture.
All right. I like the way you think, my man. So that being said, let's go on ahead and continue with the journey.
Here's one thing you need to do before buying anything online. Don't spend another dime on Amazon until you watch this first. Watch this.
Our story, it starts end of the life of poor Jenny, clocked out like Big Ben. Dear Screech, dear boy, where did he go? He melted into the black night just like snow. Patrick, man, let me in, please open the door. I think I fucked up, Patrick, really fucked up, man, I'm not sure. I got crazy, left this lady lying still on the floor. I think I killed her, Patrick, come on, man, I can't knock no more. But Screech kept on knocking till his knuckles became sore. But there's no sign of Patrick down at number 54. No refuge for our villain, for the bitter hands of fate, with something far more sinister in mind, does away. Hey, babe, you in? Nah, nothing really. I'm just a bit tired. Listen, can I swing around yours for a few moments? I just really miss you, babe. What the fuck do you mean you're busy? You fucking bitch! For fuck's sakes! Siren sounds approaching like a banshee in the night. The shrill cry of justice cutting like the sharpest knife. But Screech was never one to run, not one to miss a fight. One hand upon his blade, he turned to face the blue lights. Come on then, you fucking cunts, let's fucking have you then. I am Screech, I'm the boss, I'm the ender of men. You think that uniform you're wearing means that you own these streets? These are my fucking streets, and they call me fucking Screech. Richard was an officer who stood at 6'3", working London on the night shift. What he didn't think he'd see was a boy running at him like an animal possessed. With no time to hesitate, he fired 4 bullets at Screech's chest. Story, it ends right at the start. Young Screech and poor Jenny lying one street apart. An officer shaken by the boy that he claimed. 2 bodies lay lifeless, and it's such a shame. It's such a shame.
All right, so you were pretty straight on the continuation of the story. So floor is yours again, my friend. Reaction.
Well, first of all, a lot of influence I could hear. Like, I heard Thunderstruck at that Stairway to Heaven ending. It's just classic rock riffs, and I kind of love it. It sounds so good. And I didn't realize, because he was using the percussions on the acoustic as well, I didn't realize that he was also sliding his fingers at specific times to tune up with Screech. Like, he's trying to create that sound, because the top 2 strings, give or take on a guitar, are wrapped. They have ribs that go all the way down. So when you slide your calloused fingers down, it creates this really nice screeching sound. And that was wild. I was like, man, I didn't realize it until right at the end, when he did the gunshots and his finger slides down. I was like, oh, that's written in the music. Gotcha.
I never even realized it myself till you said it. So, talking about the gunshots, that is brilliant and yet so simple. Any thoughts on that particular moment?
Well, I mean, yeah, like I was saying, the percussion's on an acoustic. You can get way more out of it than anybody actually realizes. You have palm muting with bars, with classic chords, with just slapping against the pit guard on the bottom, or near the mechanics in the top, because I'm figuring that's an acoustic electric, just from the way that it's cut, but I don't actually know. But there's so much versatility in a guitar. Like, you don't need to have a percussion system necessarily. Like, not only did he do his own percussion and sort of like a bongos rhythm at the beginning, he, like I said, that gunshot thing was very freaking cool. Like, man, that was wild. The meticulous detail that goes into these videos, I am beyond impressed.
Oh yeah, it's so well thought. Again, like you said in the first one, it's so simplistic. It's just following a person, yet there's so many progressions, so many layers to everything that really makes you think. From the screeching aspect on a guitar that I didn't even realize until you said,
Yeah, man, I've done it myself. Like, you can hear it in like Creed's acoustic songs or like Nickelback's acoustic songs where they'll have the screech go in to like lead into the song, but that's the most it's involved. This one, he added those screeches in every time he said screech. It was almost like watching listening to a dance, like a ballet going on. It was very cool.
Or even adding to the character, it's like the sound itself is a character. So yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So going to what I did in the first one, what is your predictions for the third one? Where do you think this is going musically, story wise, etc.?
Well, I was very surprised to see it carry through on the acoustic for Act 2. Granted, he did throw some tricks in there, so I'm wondering if he's gonna add in a couple of the other stuff that I haven't seen yet, but I'm gonna keep quiet on that until we see it, because it would take way too long for me to explain. we should just get to the video.
All right, and before we do, I have to mention that this part is probably my favorite part of all three. It's the one that gut punches the most, and people usually react the most. So let's see if it is the same for you, my friend. Let's go ahead and react to Violet's Tale.
London City, far from pretty, 2005. A lady down in Paddington is fighting just to stay alive. Rhythmic beats and bloodstains, she saw a lady weep, she's tired and frail. To set the scene, we must rewind the hands of time for Violet's Tale. Violet was a silent girl, grew up with violent starts. Her mother was a drinker and her father was a bastard. Every night he took a tie but never left the room. I'll spare you with the things he did, I'm sure her mother knew. Violet was a silent girl, she moved out at 16. A semi-detached council flat, paid for by a welfare scheme. Packing shelves at Tesco, stacking jars like pickled bricks. She met a boy named Stevie and he was a little prick. Violet was a silent girl and Violet she felt fast. See, Stevie was the wrong and but he sure knew how to charm her. Every night he took her tight but never left the room. History repeats itself, he'd paint her black and blue and dark. She never stood a chance. The devil comes to dance. Violet, why are you always so quiet? On her bedroom door and he's irate. He's been drinking and smoking, he's up late. And he stands by her bedside, she shakes. But her eyes stay shut. You fucking slut, I know you're up. And he pinches her eyelids and folds them up. Violet, why are you lying to me, Violet? She stays silent, things turn violent. That's the sound of his fists when they fall like a crashing pilot. Hit like hailstones, one to the collarbone, full force, full blown, blood's black bone, crack, knick, knack, paddywhack, one to the jaw and the tooth spot, detached fist connects and disconnects a bone. A quick deflect to misdirect the blow, but nonetheless his punches met her throat. Such a mess he's left her bruised and broke. Violet, why you always so silent, Violet? Why you such a little liar, Violet? Do you think I want to do this, Violet? In character, she stays silent. Well, say something, Violet. Silence. Fucking say something, Violet. Silence. Wait. Say something, Violet. Not one word. She stays quiet. London City, far from pretty, 2005. A lady down in Paddington is fighting just to stay alive. The doctor, in a state of shock, saw something here so very wrong. See, Violet, she was pregnant. Poor Violet, she was 9 months gone. Turning to the doctor, Violet broke her silence and she cried, if I'm to die right here tonight, please let my baby stay alive. The doctor soon regained composure, called the surgeon to come in. As Violet's world turned to black, the curtains closed, the lights went dim. In London City, far from pretty, 2005. A lady down in Paddington just lost the fight to stay alive. A tragedy or a miracle, it happened on these very streets. Two twins aligned side by side. A girl named Jenny and a boy named Screech.
The shivers, my man.
I call it leaving a whisper. Anytime you have that echoing silence after a song,
Yeah.
so you know you resonated with people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a whisper in their mind, in their memories.
It's yeah, like it's again his storytelling just goes up a notch every time. They're like the first two ones were good to set up everything, but this is for me the most mesmerizing. Like you really don't know where this is going. Like how is this tied to the first two, and then the ending is mind blowing.
Yeah, yeah, it's really well told all the way throughout. I did like immediately when you asked me what's he going to do next, I was like, well, clearly hammers and pulls, right? Like that's what you're going to do. Play the neck and only play the neck because it's such a visceral sound, especially when you play it on a nylon string. Because he did switch to the nylon for this last act because he wants it to encapsulate. He wants it to resonate with people the only way that an acoustic guitar can.
Another part of this song, the video, and also the acoustic aspect, I really enjoyed is when he looks up in the staircases and he's talking about like basically she's gonna die. He's like precursing she's gonna die. It's such an impact, small little detail, but makes such an impact. That and when he stops, like Violet, say something, Violet, and the sound cuts, and you hear the birds, you hear the street noise. It's like they kind of like switch audio. That like little moments like that, it's like whoo.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I was saying. Like he knows how to use silence in the same way that you use music. Like it's so well done. Like nothing about the music is a misstep. Like every note is meticulously placed to lead into the next one. Like that's why when he's doing the walk down, the chromatic walk down with the E, that sounds like it's a guitar string being tuned too high and then tuning it back up into that E minor 7, which is standard tuning for a guitar. I thought that was brilliant. I was like, oh, that is phenomenally fantastic. It's so simple and so easy, but man, God, it's so well done because in this format, he used it so well. It's so impactful and it leaves such an impact with you as a person. Regardless of whether or not you know anything about music, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I mean, like everyone I've seen reactions to, or everyone I've shown to, they all leave, especially at the end, dumbfounded, realizing like it's almost watching a well-told short story that like it's so well composed that you never see the end until they say side by side. You're like, wait, and then your brain just meshes everything together, all the little details you had before, and your brain goes, "Ha, what? Oh shit!"
The lights click on, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, like whoa, this is dark.
We went a little dark here, but I mean, like I said, having seen Ren previously, I was kind of expecting that to go down that way.
All right. Well, we lost you for a second there, but look, before we completely lose you, one last question. All three together, you've seen everything. If there's one standout moment that it will engrave in your head, be it visual, audio, whatever it is, when is that standout moment, Mr. Alejandro?
For this one, it was actually at the top of the video, the moment that I think is going to resonate with me the most after I leave here, because he kind of has this habit of vocalizing his introductions into the song. For this one, he didn't do that. He did a pressed lip like you would for a trumpet, but no instrument. He played and did the essentially kazoo sound with his mouth, which is a horribly underrated idea. Like I love doing that. Like I'm a sax player, so I do that all the time where I make sax noises with my mouth, and I know brass players who always have that like motion. They always have that almost fixation, that compulsion to make that sound. So hearing that utilized that well in the song at the very beginning, I was like, oh, okay, you got my attention.
All right. Well, it's always a pleasure to have you, Alejandro. I really hope we keep this coming. And again, if you've enjoyed this content, either returning viewer or new viewer, please do not miss out anything. Subscribe, like, and also, like my man said, his descriptions of all the links will be on the description itself. So go ahead and encourage him. Check out his art. Check out everything about Alejandro on the Alejandro Fernandez link. Is that correct?
That's me, yeah. The Alejandro Hernandez on Facebook, alejandro.h.official on YouTube, the Alejandro H on TikTok. If people are still using that, I don't actually know.
Might as well just put
it's out there. Go check it out.
All right. So till next time, bonsoir.